Be the Best You podcast. The sole purpose of this podcast is to teach, inspire, and motivate everyone to be the best versions of themselves. What's up, everyone? It's your man, Larry Dawson, and I'm back with another episode of the Be the Best You podcast. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching or listening to today's show, please make sure you take the time to like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment, man. Tell us what you think about the show. We need your guys' support. Without your support, none of this would be possible. Quick shout out to my friend Vlad. So I got the Vape and Brew shirt on today. It's my friend's company. He owns 7 locations in the Charlotte metro area. So if you're in this area, check him out. He's got you covered with everything you need. Today I want to talk to you guys about being great and standing out, and what's the difference between people that achieve greatness in their life and regular people. And I mean no disrespect when I say that, but we all know that there are different people that are on different levels. If I say the name Michael Jordan to you, you know that he is not on the same level as a lot of other people, as in the greatness that he's achieved with his career, whether it's being a national champion in college, hitting the game-winning shot to win the NCAA championship his freshman year in college, or whether it's the 6 championships and the scoring titles and the MVPs and the All-Star MVPs and all the other accolades that he racked up in the NBA, or whether it's becoming the owner of the Charlotte Hornets and now having a NASCAR team. If I threw the name Steve Jobs out there to you, you know that he was different as well. He's the creator of Apple. He's the creator of Pixar. And even when he was let go by his original company and went and created another $1 billion company, his original company came back and he brought them back to being a $1 billion company. So one thing that fascinated me when I was locked up and I had my 13-year break was what separates people. What makes certain people great and some people ultra successful compared to others. And I always had this burning desire to be great. And sometimes a lot of us, we have a lot of energy, but sometimes we invest that energy in the wrong areas or going the wrong direction. And I felt like that's what had happened to me, and that's why I was where I was at. Not making any excuses, because I did what I did and I landed where I landed, but I felt like I had the potential to be great. I was just using it in the wrong way. So during my time out of not only going back to school and educating myself, trying to diagnose myself and figure out how to fix myself, studying about physical fitness and getting myself in great shape, just becoming a much better version of myself with my 10-hour-a-day rule and all the studying that I did to become a better person and a better human being, I was fascinated with certain people that became great. So I dug in really deep on them by researching and studying and reading about certain people. Some of those people that I studied was Michael Jordan, was Steve Jobs, was Marcus Aurelius, was Malcolm X, was Babe Ruth, was Nelson Mandela, and recently I have taken up studying Elon Musk and everything I can get my hands on about him. And it's funny when you actually do research yourself and you start to study and learn things about certain people based off of facts of what you're learning, information about these people, versus the myth of what you hear people say. Like today, I actually was talking to someone about Elon Musk, and they were like, didn't he get his start from his parents? Didn't his parents give him money? And actually he didn't. He came from a middle-class family in Africa, but he went to Canada when he was 17 years old, and he was broke. He was working little side jobs and stuff like that and trying to put himself through school. And he created, during the dot-com era, he created a way for newspapers to put their magazines online so people could read them. And then they got bought out. Him and his brother built that company themselves from nothing. And when it was bought out, he walked away with $22 million. And then his next adventure was to create PayPal, which he made hundreds of millions of dollars off of. And then Tesla and SpaceX and, now Twitter and all the stuff that he has going on. But just fascinated by how does someone keep being successful at everything they put your hands on. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six. He has had, that I've known about and already read about, 6 major successful stories where he's made millions or billions of dollars with these companies. So why can't other people do this? And if he can do it at least 6 times, why can't most people do it at least once? Why can't people, if Michael Jordan can win 6 championships, why can't they at least win 1? So I was fascinated with how these people got like this. Like, what made them like this? And so reading and studying, there was a lot of common denominators amongst a lot of these different people. Even Leonardo da Vinci, I studied him as well. And one of the common threads that each of them have is that 100% belief in themselves and what they can accomplish and who they are. And they don't let outside noise or influence get the better of them. They actually are able to block that out and push through to achieve their goals no matter what. No matter the noise that's coming their way, no matter the obstacle that's coming their way, no matter what's put in front of them. This unbelievable belief in themselves and this unbelievable desire to be great. So where does that mindset come from and what separates them? Well, some of that is from failure. When someone tastes failure and they experience some failure, it sets them apart, like, because they don't want to know what that's like. They don't want to feel that anymore. So they take that lesson, they apply it to life, and they push forward. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team, and he couldn't digest the fact that he wasn't even one of the 12 best players in his high school, that he got cut and couldn't play. He, even after winning championships and scoring titles and MVPs and this and that, he still remembered that and never forgot that. That lesson taught him that, and he had this unbelievable belief in himself. When Steve Jobs was creating Apple Computer, people laughed at him. They told him it was a joke. He was a hippie, a young kid. He didn't know what he was doing. He was over his head. He would never make it. Apple's one of the biggest technology companies in the world today. And even once he created Apple, one of the things that happened was they became stagnant, and he bumped heads by the way he wanted to run the company versus some of the way that other people want to run the company. So they kind of forced him out. He went and created Pixar, which started to take over the #1 spot from Disney and rival them, and he made billions off of that. Disney eventually bought him out, but he became so successful, and Apple started to struggle so bad while he was gone, they brought him back to run their company again, his company, until he unfortunately passed away at a young age. Nelson Mandela's story was fascinating to me because as I was studying him and learning about him, I was incarcerated myself. And this man I did 13 years, he did double the amount of time I did. And not only he do double the amount of time that I did, they used to beat him so bad in prison. I read about it, and the people who would beat him, he would be nice to them. He would call them by their first name, ask them how their family was doing, tell them he didn't take it personal. He knew that they was being told to do it. And when he came home, he had the apartheid going on in South Africa, and the racial tensions between the blacks and the whites was about as bad as it can get. And when he came home and he became president and he took over the political offices, I remember reading about, people close to him wanted him to oust the white people, get rid of the white people. And he was like, no, we're going to do this together. We're going to heal this and come together as people. Just fascinated by people's greatness. Babe Ruth being an orphan and, him liking to eat, right? I'll tell you a quick story. And him asking for more food, and they told him, you can't have more food. And him telling us, okay, I'm going to become a famous baseball player when I get older, and I'm going to hit home runs, and I'm going to be able to have as much food as I want. But like that was serious to him. They laughed at him, but he was serious about that. Like his goal to do that and to execute on that and to make that happen. That's very rare because the majority of the time, you know, people just talk about things. They don't actually execute. And they don't put in the time and effort or believe 100% in themselves. Or when obstacles or diversions come, they get sidetracked and don't continue down the path to meet those goals and those dreams. So a lot of the common denominators that I caught in these different people, the Da Vinci's and the Marcus Aurelius and the Malcolm X's and Elon Musk, is that they believe in themselves 100%. No matter what gets in front of them, they won't become derailed. They won't let it stop them. They will push through. They are able to tune out all outside noise. And they understand one fundamental fact, that when you get knocked down or when you get told no or when you lose one time, it's not over. It's just a lesson. Because the only time you really lose is when you quit. So if you get knocked down 99 times, get back up 100 times. Because on that 100th one is when everything might break through, when you become successful and your dreams open up. And then there might be a story told about you. You know, your name out there could be John. And, you know, the story of John could be told that, man, John just kept trying and trying and trying. And no matter how many times he got knocked down or told no or ran into brick walls, he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And one day he succeeded. And now he has this, and this. And once you do that, more doors open for you to have more success. So the ultimate moral of the story is never quit. Never give up on your dreams or your beliefs or your goals, and to always keep pushing forward. And that's one thing that they all did. They believed in themselves. They never stopped. They never gave up. They continued to push forward. You know, me spending 13 years in prison, people are shocked a lot of times when they find out how successful I've become. Oh, you have a beautiful family, and, you know, beautiful home, cars, condos, money in the bank, own businesses, blah, 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 blah. All that, you know, is what you should have. But it's confusing to some people that I could have that after spending 13 years in prison. But you can do anything. Like Nelson Mandela spent double the time I spent in prison, and he became president of a country. There is no limitations of what we can do except for the limitations that we put on ourselves. So the next time you're questioning yourself or doubting yourself, think about that. Use me for motivation. Use him for motivation. Use someone that you know that's successful, that you look up to for motivation. But make sure you're looking up to them for the right reasons. You know, a lot of times we look up to these celebrity entertainers, whether they're actors or they're comedians or they're musicians. And, you know, that's fine if you want to be an actor and your goal is, you know, hey, I'm really into Denzel Washington. I like the way he carried himself. I like the way he acts. I like the way, you know, he conducts himself off screen. That's fine, man. But I don't believe in looking up to like actors and musicians and or politicians or any of these type of people. I believe in looking up to like businessmen, great men, men that make a difference in the world, not someone that goes on a stage and plays a guitar. And I think too many times we put our faith and our want-tos in the wrong type of people. And if someone can play a guitar and sing a song and they have some hit songs, and that's who you're looking up to, but you know, they're a drug addict or an alcoholic or have had 2 or 3 wives or don't take care of their kids or getting arrested for that, that's not necessarily who you want to look up to and model yourself after. I would choose, you know, a Robert Johnson, you know, the founder of BET and the man that brought Carolina basketball back, the Charlotte Bobcats. You know, look at someone that has done great things like that, like the Elon Musk that I just mentioned, the Steve Wozniakis of the world, and people like that have good values and are good people, but successful as well. And a lot of times there's this quick fix mentality of we're going to become successful quick, and we have to become successful quick. This internet microwave society. And if you pay attention to anything I just said about any of these people, that's not true. It comes with hard work, dedication, and resilience of being able to bounce back, because it's going to take time. You're going to have failures. There's going to be setbacks. Everything's not always going to go your way. And too often now, we get frustrated and we quit when things don't go our way immediately. But that's not reality. That's why I don't agree with participation trophies. That's why I don't agree with not discipline kids. I prefer to teach them what it's like to lose and to fail and to understand, so you can feel that feeling. So if my kid comes in 10th place in a tournament of 15 kids, I don't want you to give him or her a participation trophy. I want them to know that they failed and they didn't win this event. They came in 10th place this time. So it's a teaching moment, so we can teach our kids, hey, you came in 10th place. What do you think about that? And when they say, I don't like it. See, you don't like it. You don't like coming in 10th place. So what are you going to do now? You're going to try harder. You're going to study more. You're going to practice more. You're going to come back next year and you're going to prove them wrong. You're going to show them that you're better than 10th place, right? Now you got a new goal. Now your new goal is to go up 10 spots so you can be number one. We have to get back to basics and start teaching people what it's like to get knocked down or to fail or to not succeed, and to get up and to be better from it, to try harder, to do better, to put in more effort. Because everything is not going to be handed to you in life. And that's the reason we're dealing with a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with in America, because no one has been told no, no one knows what it's like to fail, nobody has to go through adversity like that anymore. So I think if we got back to fundamentals, that would help change a lot of that and put us back in the right direction. But I wanted to talk to you guys about, succeeding at a highest level and not falling into traps or letting other people or other things put limitations on you, not getting sidetracked or diverted by all the distractions around us. So I keep telling you the same thing about these people that I've studied that became great in so many different ways and so many different avenues of life. And, I have not reached that level of the people that I mentioned before, but I am extremely proud and thankful of where I'm at after just being home 8 years, and today is May 1st. That means I came home 8 years ago today. And here I am with my own podcast and with my businesses and everything that I mentioned earlier, and happy and successful and living life great. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. So the name of the podcast is the Be the Best You podcast. So we want you to take away motivation, inspiration to become a better version of yourself when you watch this podcast. Special shout out to Bambino, the filming, behind the scenes, the photography, help with putting the whole thing together. Amazing person. This wouldn't be possible without him. This podcast is set up to help everyone, including myself, grow and become better. And, I mentioned the people I studied, and you don't have to study those. You can study whoever you want. Pick people that you can look up to that will really inspire you and motivate you to be a better person, a better version of yourself. And just remember that life can be tough. Life can throw you obstacles. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that's what made those people great, is the ability that no matter what came at them or how it came at them, to stay focused, to stay on track, to stay the course, to keep their mindset, and to keep pushing forward towards that ultimate goal. Because as long as you never quit and you never give up, you will eventually succeed and win. And I've applied that to my life, and that is one of the main reasons of my success, along with the law of attraction and the belief in myself. Remember that. Do what works best for you. I hope this video has helped in any type of way, and I hope that you guys take the time out to check out some of the people that I mentioned and find your own people to check out and study and push yourself to be great, because there is no reason that you can't be great, you can't be successful, and that you can't accomplish all of your goals and dreams in this life. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was another episode of the Be the Best You podcast. Until next time, try until you fly.